We'll see how it goes. I've gone back live, guys, just so you know. We'll see how it goes, and then we can investigate further later on. Okay, so just so you know, welcome back, everyone. Hopefully, we've got Mr. Pickles back, but without his, you just have to suffer for the rest of the evening without his handsome looks gazing back to you, because we're trying just with the sound to start off with, and hopefully he will be able to maintain contact with the sound. So, guys, I thought this would be a good time to let you know about healing. Okay, so you have an idea what you can do and what you can't do. So remember, you've got 3 sets of wounds: minor, serious, and major. Your major is that's the one that will kill you. So anybody with a first aid skill, minor is anything between the normal number of hit points on location and down to sort of like 1 above 0. If that makes sense, just that gap. Serious is anywhere between 0 and 1 above minus what you normally have. So if you have 5 hit points normally on a location, then 5 to 1 will be minor, 0 to -4 will be serious, and then anything over -5 or bigger, that would be a major wound. Okay, so you've got a bit of leeway. So first aid can heal minor wounds. It heals 1d4 points of damage. And a healing skill can deal with minor and serious wounds, healing 1d3 points of damage. Folk magic heal, if you have it, will restore all hit points on a minor wound and will stabilize a serious wound, so you're not losing any more blood, etc. Regeneration, which is a sorcery skill spell that will regenerate hit points via the intensity chugga-wugga, so you will understand that. And major wounds, it'll just stabilize. And then the thesis power, this is when it comes in. So heal body or heal wound, no matter what it is. That will restore all hit points on either a minor or a serious wound, and so will rejuvenate. And then a rejuvenate spell will actually heal a major wound. It heals the location instantly. So if an arm is fallen off, then rejuvenate, which is a thesis spell, you can actually put the arm back on, pray to your god, and if everything's going well, the arm will reattach, and that will be it. Unfortunately, to do...
We don't have any heal spells at all.
No, to do that spell, you have to be a priest of the order, which is the highest that you can possibly get. However, are you still with us, Bartleby?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, cool.
Are you aware of what happened?
I think I was so deep in a spiritual connection with Amriel right there. What I was given in my mind, I was taken over, and so I don't know what happened. Did I break things?
Okay, so basically what happened was that what we said, because this one right in front of you fell unconscious, you had a couple of good swings with your club to try to hit it. You hit the floor twice. Well done. Which was very good. And you actually went like that and threw your club backwards at one point and then had to run and get it. Hengist delivered the final blow to the last one, and Gulliver's rack spell dealt with it. Oki's now covering the door, so it is up to you now. I'm just moving you to deal with Aaron's wounds. So, Aaron, first of all, which hit location is being damaged?
It's my right leg.
Right leg. Okay, then. How many hit points do you normally have on that?
5.
5. And how many hit points do you have on it now?
-1.
Okay, so that's a serious wound. So a healing skill can fix it if you've got bandages with you, etc. Or it's going to need a heal wound from your thesis bank, Bartleby?
I would definitely like to heal a wound. Rather than use science or anything, I just want to slap a miracle onto this leg and pray it back together.
Okay, cool then.
So that'd be exhort.
Yeah, let's see how favourable you are at the moment.
Prayers for the leg.
Okay, hang on.
Oh.
Before we do this, I suggest that we rest enough because Aaron's wound is stabilised. It's not going anywhere. So the first thing I suggest we do is rest enough to take off the people's fatigue. So that's the first thing we do because that'll just be a matter of minutes, I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So take your wounds off first, and then right. So taking that roll, Mr. Pickles. Do you have any luck?
I would like to use some luck because I think his leg is worth it.
Yeah. So therefore, that will change it down to 39, which means that it will heal him. Which it means that it will restore all lost hit points in that location, Aaron. So it will be back up to maximum via the grace of Amriel and her healing power of the moon.
Gulliver's going to go over to Evan and he's going to go, "Did you see the spider?"
Evan didn't see the spider.
Aaron's more just amazed, staring at his leg as it mends itself and starts to heal. Due to Bartleby's prayers.
You're luckier than the spider. The spider lost 2 legs and it didn't heal any.
Guys, I'm just moving you a little bit away into the map. Just for one reason, that I don't want you falling off the end. That's the only reason.
Aaron will just be looking between his leg and Bartleby.
Oh,
he'll thank you, sir.
Don't thank me. Thank Amriel. She is the one who cured your problem there. Keep it together is what she told me to tell you.
Well, I do not know this, Amriel, but you be sure to thank her for me.
I proceed to do just that. I thank Amriel.
Okay, cool.
So I want to collect my spear.
Yeah, so people can re-equip themselves. Gulliver, you put back the seed, the egg beforehand. Is that something that you wish to go back and collect once more?
Before he does that, the next action that Gulliver wants to do, he wants to go into the room where the tables were.
Oh, yeah.
And there were some plates on there. As he's doing this, he's sort of like spending more time looking up rather than looking anywhere else. Even though the ceiling in this next room is probably lower than what it was in the main chamber. But he wants to go up and you said that there was plates on the table. Are they like a pewter or some type of metal plate? Tin or something like that.
So let's tell me what you want to do with them, and then
so he wants to gather up 4 of them, and he wants to come back into the room, and he wants to, as best he can, using his knife, he wants to try to make take a copy of what the runes look like by scratching it into the metal of the plate.
Okay, so I presume you have a knife.
He does have a knife, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then. So you go back into the other room and you manage to collect some plates, and you're sort of like busy scratching this thing in. Bartleby, you're healing Aaron while this is going on. Oki's keeping a check on the door. Hengist, is there anything you would like to do during this time?
So Hengist would have walked part of the way to the tables with Gully keeping an eye on him because it's not safe to go anywhere on your own, and then he's going to be standing companionably next to Oki, but sort of whilst Oki's looking out, Hengist is sort of standing facing him so he can see the healing, and he can, out of the corner of his eye, he can keep an eye on Gully, or with an easy turn of his head, he can keep an eye on Gully.
Oki's quite happy for you to guard the entrance, and he sort of like goes over here and sort of like sits cross-legged once more, and with his staff balanced across his knees, and takes up that meditation pose that you've seen him doing before, as he sort of like closes his eyes and seems to be wandering off by himself in some kind of meditational state. Gulliver, you've sort of like managed to scratch out with a lot of noise and so forth and so on, and you've got them now. What else would you like to do?
Gulliver's a bit confused now, so he's going to go up to where everybody else is stood, and he's going to go. I've taken some copies of the markings that were on the 4 pedestals that were right around the room. Should I do anything else?
Bartleby, do you have the egg from the middle pedestal? I couldn't remember.
I couldn't remember either. If I don't have it, I would like to have it.
Yeah.
Just
okay then. So you sort of like go back to the middle pedestal and you pick it up, and like I said before, it feels hollow. It doesn't feel as if it's a solid egg. It's sort of like quite light. And you sort of like pick it up, and there's as you move it across, there's definitely nothing sort of like rattling around in it or anything like that, and it's definitely hollow.
Cool. That's mine.
And now inside the goblet there is nothing.
Well, yeah, I took what was underneath that.
Yeah.
So
I'm wearing it.
The other one, the one that Gully picked up.
Yeah, that's exactly.
If he picks that up, does that feel hollow, or is there anything?
It feels exactly the same as Bartleby's. It sounds hollow. It feels hollow. It doesn't feel solid, and it doesn't. There's nothing rattling around it or anything like that. You could open it if you wished.
The egg shells that are on the ground. Does it look like something's come out of it, or does it look like it's fallen over and split open?
Explain the difference.
For example, is it still Is it still mostly an egg with maybe a chunk missing out of it, where something might have popped out of it?
No, like,
do you know, like when something first comes out of an egg, and you'll have like the beak coming out first, and then
no, the sort of like the Fabergé egg, if you remember, that's what I call them, is like open. It's not as if it's something has burst out like Aliens in the film or anything like that. It just looks like it's open on the ground.
Right.
It's not smashed or anything like that.
Okay, but exactly in the center, is it? Is it like a clean break right the way round?
Both you and Bartleby can look at your eggs, and it's quite clear that there is a hinge down one side, and these will snick. There's a catch that will open it, probably one of those that you press. And as you press it, it will release the catch to open it. Bartleby, just make a commerce roll for me. And you can. I think you have commerce as well. Do you have commerce?
I do indeed.
Yeah, you should both like to make a roll of it.
My favorite skill. Not my best skill.
Not today.
Gully got one.
Yeah, you figured these will probably be worth almost like 1,000 to 5,000 silver pieces. They're incredibly ornate, incredibly well made, and you figure that some rich noble will probably pay a hell of a lot for these.
Where are you by the center one, Bartleby? Or are you back
so.
Or are you back over with?
He can move himself.
Evan?
He's probably back down.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm back with the group. Oh yeah, well yeah, that works.
Yeah, he's probably
I'm
about
wandering around
halfway. Yeah.
Okay, so Gulliver's going to go over to Bartleby, him holding his egg as well, and he's going to say, "There doesn't seem to be anything in this one. Is there anything in yours?"
I don't believe there is, but it's quite a nice egg.
Gulliver, make a perception roll for me, please. Yeah, you notice that Bartleby's wearing quite a stylish bracelet that he wasn't wearing before.
Where did you get that from? And he'll point to the.
I found it in the goblet, and it became onto me.
You found that in the goblet.
Mm-hmm.
I only found water in mine.
Did the water?
And there's
try and get
earth in
on
the
you?
other one, and there's coals in that one, and that one's only got smoke in. How come you get a bracelet?
Because a goddess spoke to me, and that now Gulliver.
Yeah. You should be a thesis. I like that.
We've got some pretty major problems going on, guys. Though I don't know if we should be here, but something could come and swallow us up any moment now.
Angus is going to pipe up his ears at that point and be like, he's going to hear, the Bartleby said we should be getting a move on. And he's going to look over at, I can't remember his name.
Who?
Name's gone out of it.
There's not many people.
Rath's character.
Aaron.
What's his name? Aaron. I keep wanting to say Aeon. Aaron. He's going to look over at Aaron and go, "How's your leg? Are you able to move?"
By some miracle, I'll make it. Yes, I'm with you.
In that case, I think we should take Bartleby's sound advice and get out of here, unless.
Well, I don't think we have any choice. If we're going to go, we're going to have to take these eggs with us because you broke the lock, Hengist.
I didn't break the lock. I just opened the door. But then we all broke the guardians.
Can you close it again?
I won't know until
No, you broke the lock bit.
Touche.
Are you heading out or are you staying where you are?
Bartleby wants to head out and is making a very frantic but slow show of it.
I follow Bartleby.
Angus is going to go out and then he wants to start looking at the door to see if he can work out how the hell to close it.
But do we see what's in the eggs before we go out? What happens if the magic that protects them? Because last time when we had a seed, didn't we? And the coffer was opened and all the bad people came.
Yes, but when I had Amriel replace my eyes with insight, I was able to see these eggs, and these eggs did not emit light like those flimsy little boxes did.
So there's no seed in them then?
It could just be that the egg is meant to actually block it, and the chests that were made by man are pathetic, flimsy, and only barely able to contain the power.
So there was no magic coming from these eggs?
I believe there was a little bit, but it was so dim that I just knew that it was in there. You know, you can feel the light from something. In this case, I don't actually see it, but Amriel makes me feel it. But Gulliver, we have bigger issues at foot right here. There is a dragon, and I don't know where, but it's going to be awakening soon. An ancient dragon.
A dragon?
Yeah, at that point, Oki sort of like suddenly comes round, and it's you, Oki and Aaron and Bartleby. You are aware that dragons haven't actually existed in Odes for millennium. They are rumored to be completely have wiped out. years and years and years ago, and it's not something that people see. Actually, the last dragon was actually killed by a beast handler. You seem to remember, Bartleby, from your history.
Ooh. Now I know what you guys are thinking.
But how did we go from seeds to dragons?
The voice that I heard whispered to me, possibly from this egg. I hold the egg up, emphasizing.
It's a dragon egg.
Wait. And it was talking to me already?
That is fascinating.
But when I touched the egg, I had a vision, a very powerful vision that had no dragons involved. I saw a beautiful woman with her back turned to me on a beautiful place. I want to say a tropical island, but my memory's fading now. I don't think it was that. There was water, there were trees. It was beautiful. And there's this egg, I believe, is something good, or a trapped god, or perhaps something of that sort. But it could also be a dragon, I guess, if we're getting metaphorical with our visions.
Hengist, you're no longer guarding the doorway.
Oh, okay.
I'm quite happy for you not to guard the doorway, but I just
No,
wanted to make...
Hengist will he's wandered over. So he stopped guarding the doorway, wandered over to everyone, saw everyone was deep in conversation, shaking his head, and has gone back to guarding the doorway.
Okay.
How big are these eggs? Is it something that Gully can put in his tunic? No.
They're about Fabergé egg size.
Okay.
You could probably stick it in a backpack.
That's what I'm going to do with mine.
I don't have my backpack with me because I left it in the...
You could probably both go into Bartleby's.
tavern.
Could probably both go into Bartleby's.
I'll be the team's egg handler.
You could be
the brood mother.
Bartleby is the healer, buffer, and bag lady. He just carries everything at the back.
Gulliver's going to hand his egg to Bartleby and just sort of say, "Yeah, I do want it back, Bartleby." And he's going to go over to where this goblet had fallen over on the pedestal.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one with the soil in and the mildew around it still.
Yeah, but the goblet had fallen over, hadn't it?
Correct.
Okay, so can he pick up the goblet and try to put the soil back into the goblet before placing it on the pedestal?
That's quite easy to do, yeah.
And then he wants to pick up the egg and see whether or not he can put it back together and place it in the goblet.
Yeah.
And then these...
So guys, the rest of you sort of like watch Gulliver. He goes over to this pedestal and he sort of like shovels all this soil into this goblet and then pops it back on the pedestal. And then he reaches down, he picks up the egg and he closes up the egg and he puts it a bit like an egg cup, an egg going into an egg cup, and sort of like pops it into the goblet.
And then this one here is already upright, wasn't it?
No.
All right. But this is the one with coals on it in it.
No, the one to the right is the one with coals in.
This one was smoke then.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, he's just going to go round them all, and he's just going to pick up the goblets and...
Okay, guys. So Gulliver's going to spend some time now, sort of like going round all these, sort of like doing the same. So what would the rest of you like to do? Because this is going to... It's not going to take a huge amount of time, but you're going to have some time to sort of like do whatever you would like to do while he's doing this. Or you can just watch him.
I would personally be wanting to... I don't know what Bartleby is doing, but I'd personally be wanting to probably have some time to discuss with him. Since we're waiting for Gulliver anyway, I'd probably take the time to discuss with Bartleby, and if he would allow it to examine the eggs as well, being a beast handler.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying, well, currently the eggs are in Bartleby's backpack, but you're quite welcome to have the discussion with him. That's not a problem. Unless you want to
I
get,
sense
yeah.
Aaron's glances, and I wanna open my bag, offering him a gander in. Is this what you wanted, Aaron? You keep looking at my backpack, very interested. Like,
Knowledge of the dragons has been one lost for a long time. I'd be interested to inspect and examine if you would let me. I'm in no way trying to take them or trying to rid you of that property.
yeah, well, yeah, I didn't think you were intending to do that, but yeah, take a look. A reveal. Open my backpack.
As
Let
he
him
does,
look.
I just want to say, I'll be like, if these are what we think they are, you're going to want to be pretty protective of them. I trust them in your hands, but if they got loose, the balance could be desperately upset in a way that may not be healed.
Amriel will protect the eggs. I'm just a vessel for her to work through.
Let us hope. And then, yeah, I'll examine. Can I roll a skill or something? Wait, that's the dog. I was like, wait, I have no skills. Mainly most of my stuff is for canines. So
Do you have a commerce roll?
A commerce? I do.
Yeah, roll your commerce roll.
Let me make sure I'm rolling as Aaron. I am commerce rolling. Fail on all accounts.
Yeah, just to let you know, these are not natural. These are not natural of any to any degree at all. They are ornate, very well crafted eggs. They're not natural at all.
Interesting. Okay. So at least from that I can determine that. Okay. I'll turn my head kind of cockeyed and I'll hand it back to him. I'll be like, engineered, not birthed. Interesting. And with that, I'll end my turn and wait for us.
Yeah. So by that point, Gulliver's gone round and put everything back on. He had a bit of problems with the hot coals, but he managed to sort of like scoop them up and put them all upright back onto the pedestal. So everything's back in. Well, the bracelet's not in the middle one, and everything else is upright with the eggs in, apart from the middle one and the top right one. And yeah, and he sort of like comes back with his plates. That is.
He'll pick up his plates on his way up, and he'll come back up and he'll say, "Well done. I've put them back how they should be."
Angus will call out and say, "Right, let's go then." And
okay then, so you head. Angus, I'm just going to move you down so I can collect you all together as a group to move you back to the previous map.
Sounds good.
There you go.
I just don't know whether or not we should be taking with us.
Have you got? Okay. Somebody has the torch. I forget who it is, but your light should be activated. Aaron, I don't know whether or not you can actually.
I don't see anything. I'm still in the.
That's absolutely fine. We can change that. You see now?
I'm curious what I'm supposed to be seeing. Nothing.
Is your screen black in?
No. I still see everything. We're still in the same area.
No,
I'm in the same area as well.
Sorry. No, you're not.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I do see.
Yeah. So as you sort of like which way round, Hengist, do you want to lead the party? Do you want to lead them back around the tables or straight up?
The tables, because that's probably the quickest way. but he also wanted to make sure if he could close the door, he worked out how to close the door, unless that was going to take too long to do.
No, I mean, it depends what you want to do with it. I mean, the door currently is open. It opens inwards into the previous room. It doesn't have any of the swords in at all. These knights are not there, obviously, because they're bashed in the previous room.
If he was able to pull the door closed as he went, then he'd do. If he could, he would have given it a tug. If he's not strong enough, then he's going to leave it.
You can't actually close it all the way because there's nothing on this side to actually pull it. So you can pull it too with your fingers, and then that'll be it. So it's not actually shut, but it is pulled close. There's still a bit of a gap, i.e. the width of your fingers as it goes through. Okay.
Angus will shrug and say, that's as good as I can do it.
Okay, so as you guys sort of like start, you're going around the table way, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you go start round that way, you all hear from the room that you've just been in, almost like a clatter of metal against stone. And it doesn't take you much to think that's probably the goblets falling on the floor yet again. And it's at that point, just after you hear the clatter, that you sort of like hear, and Bartleby looking around, you notice that the door is completely sealed and the letters just glow somewhat on the writing that you saw. And as you sort of like go through the chamber, heading back round to the entrance, you suddenly, I'm just moving you en masse around there, you suddenly notice, Bartleby and Aaron, as you go around, that in the alcoves, as you move through this chamber, you all of a sudden, there seems to be like a blue glow that forms into what appears to be the shape of a man or woman, a humanoid. And then as it sort of like solidifies, you notice that metal plates attached to it. And by the time you get up to this one, I'm just pinging the map up at the top. Yeah, can you see it? You notice that in all the alcoves that you look at, there's now a knight in its armor holding with both hands over the top a long sword that is point down onto the ground.
Do you think we should really be taking the eggs from here?
That's a good question. When I need guidance, Gulliver, I ask the one lady in the sky who knows.
I'm just thinking that we're going to be taking them out, and we don't have any protection. Well, at least here there's the puzzle to stop it, and the spider, and the door, and the knights.
Well, okay. Great goddess Amriel, mother of all that is right and good, lighter of lights, illuminator of truths, helper of the helpless, do you think that this is the proper action to do, or am I dooming humanity with my arrogance?
Okay, can you now hang on before you do it?
Sure.
Can you !B roll it to me, please?
Yeah. And is that just !B roll and then anything else?
And then 1d100.
Cool.
And then can you what's your skill? 56?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
cool.
5-6.
Okay then. So have you got Discord open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going much better now that I'm not transmitting video, I guess. It's kind of sad, but I'm gonna
I
get
think
told
what-
something horrible. I know
I
it.
think what you'll have to do, Mr. Pickles, you'll have to do sort of like a whole load of faces. You're like shocked, happy, sad. And then depending on your mood, we can get Inwills to actually put that up in the Zoom.
Yes, that's what my project this week is gonna be.
Yeah.
The faces of pickles.
I have an idea how to fix it. We'll troubleshoot it after this game if you have time.
There you go.
Cool. Oh no, Amriel, come on! Why you gotta be like that?
You can share it with your colleagues. You don't. It's not secret. I just want to give it to you because that's what she says.
Yeah, but sometimes
That's what she said.
sometimes I don't want everybody to know how terrible the world's destiny
Well,
is. going.
exactly, and that's why I do it to you in Discord.
We better get moving, guys.
Right. Angus will. He had been walking fairly quickly. He's now sort of like striding very purposely to get out of here as quick as he can.
No. Okay. Keep it together, Angus.
Gulliver clutching his 4 plates
Yeah,
to his
Angus.
chest will follow.
Cool. All right, just 1 second, and this.
And Angus is not going to stop walking quickly till he gets back to the hairy hobgoblin,
Yeah, I think that
the
is.
safe haven that is the hairy hobgoblin.
When we make it out, I'm going straight to church. I need some higher ups to tell me that things are gonna be okay. Oh no.
Okay, I'm nearly there, guys. Just 1 second. Right, I'm just.
Has Gulliver and Hengist heard tales of dragons as well, or
There wasn't much. I mean, in your world before you came here, there's always tales of dragons, but I mean, the majority of you just sort of like.
yeah? So it wasn't something that was just unique to Odis dragons. It
No,
was,
I mean, in every sort of like. In every sort of like mythology, and there is always talk of dragons. It's just that Tales of Dragons in Odis. It's not like it's not like Dungeons and Dragons where you find one of these. What was it? I forget what it was, but you used to find a young brass dragon or something that sort of like had 2 hit points, and everybody just sort of like murdered it.
yeah, because it had a whole load. Because it had a good loot table.
Yeah, and sort of like dragons like that didn't ever exist in Odess. It was always big ancient dragons, and as you have read, there was a fabled beast handler that actually dealt with one. Do you remember her name?
No.
No. I remember the snake person.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
all remembered the snake, and the one that was the one that was really important to the game. Her name was Jasmine
Fire Eater?
Jasmine Claw.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I thought it was quite clever. Excellent. So,
And who's Jasmine Claw?
Jasmine Claw was a fabled beast handler, who is, I'll read it to you, the Dragon Slayer. Jasmine Claw. Jasmine Claw is a dragon slayer. According to legend, she has killed more than 100 and actually killed the last dragon which roamed Odess, a fire dragon which lived in the north in the volcanic region. Since this heroic deed, she has mysteriously disappeared. Some say she died in the final battle, while others say she faded into the countryside, lacking any challenge to fulfill. Maybe if dragons ever return, then so will Jasmine Claw. And you all remember Cedar Slither. a non-binary human.
Yeah.
It is not known
Throws
whether,
snakes at people's faces.
yeah. It's not known whether the snakes are. Cedar is known to hurl their snakes into their faces of their enemies. It is not known whether
This is from your web.
Yeah, it is.
Right. Is this the bit that, because Gully isn't aware of any of this? Is this
Well,
a bit of the history of it that?
Yeah, I think what I would be saying now is that if you wish to investigate beast handlers from Odis, then that is the information that you can use, so forth and so on. So, for example, after this, you might sort of like be saying, oh, I want to go off and investigate dragons, and that would be one of the pieces of information that you would receive. So here we are. Hopefully you're back in the slums, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're heading back out, and of course in the slums it's always this sort of like dusky night sort of like stage. You can see fine, but shadows are cast left, right and centre, which you can see, and you are some way from the entrance, that you lowered the grate and sort of like try to hid it as best as possible, and you sort of like readjusted everything around the place to try to hide it, and you sort of like walked for some time, getting lost every now and again, because of course you didn't have the fabled Giselle to guide you out. And it's when if you see you've come round that top corner now. Can you see where you are?
Yeah.
And as you come round, you know Hengist from the directions that if you come down here, if you can see that,
Yeah.
that will lead you round and out of the slums. And as you turn the corner, you see almost just slightly over to one side. I'm going to put it on for you, but please listen to the description that I'm giving you. You see almost like the slumped form of Giselle. She seems to be
She got hit in the head by one of them bottles.
Hengist and Oki, you can see this quite clearly. The rest of you can't picture this at the moment, but Hengist and Oki, you can see Giselle there. Her shoulders seem somewhat higher than what her neck is, if that makes sense, and her head is sort of like slumped down, and she just seems to be almost like stood there. And you can quite clearly see her. Her arms are loose by her side, and her head is down, and she just seems to be stood there.
Okay.
Sounds like she got pinned to the wall.
Angus will. His shield on it. By the way, his shield's on his back and his sword's back in its sheath for the moment. But he's going to say, as he turns the corner, he's going to go, "Oh, Giselle's over there." And he's going to carry on and lead the party to his way round, but he's going to stop just short of Giselle. And he wants to just like take a closer look at her to see if she's just standing leaning against the door or the wall, sorry, or if there's anything holding against there.
Okay, so
before he does anything else.
So the rest of the party will move round then.
Can I ask, as we approach, do I see any distinguishing characteristics from Juno, like smells or getting like?
No, she appears to be she doesn't know. I mean, she's always very happy to see Gulliver, because if you remember, there was a scent given to her, so she's quite fond of you, Gully, because she's had a good sniff of you, and sort of like has followed you for some time. You sort of like come round the corner, and you sort of like might get right the way up to her Hengist, and it's when you get to her that you suddenly see that she's not actually stood up by herself. And as you get close to her, you see that her feet is actually her toes that are just balanced on the ground. And you notice that there's a piece of rope that is round her chest and under her arms and up her back. And she seems to be tied up to almost like a part of the roof high above. And her head's down.
Can you see if she's still alive?
Yeah, what would you like to do?
Sort of like he wants to sort of like lift. You said her head like on her, just
down,
hanging
yeah,
there on the chin. He wants to lift sort of like her chin.
Okay, is
up
that
and see if
is that just with your hand? Yeah.
Yeah, just with his hand.
Yeah.
And he wants to see if she's breathing or not.
Yeah, so you reach out and you sort of like lift her head, and it comes to this point, and then you notice that it almost like flips backwards, and you notice that right the way across her neck has been totally garroted by some kind of, or sliced, or cut quite nastily, probably right the way back almost to her her spine, and her head just sort of like flops completely backwards. And you notice that her clothes are sort of like a deep colour, mainly because of the amount of blood that is actually absorbed onto her. She is most definitely dead.
Sleeping. Oh.
Gulliver's going to see all this and he's going to go, Hengist, we need to go. If they found Giselle, then they're going to be finding us next. We need to get out of here while we can.
Hengist will say, of course, go. We're on our way. But first, he's going to draw his sword and he wants to cut the rope, and then he wants to lay her out, sort of like on the ground. And then after that, he's going to sheath his sword and he wants to carry on his way out the slums.
Okay, yeah. So you sort of like take your sword out and you're sort of like cutting the rope. And as you're busy cutting the rope, that's when the attack actually happens. So these knives are coming down. Sorry, they are daggers. Sorry, not knives. These are coming down at you from up on the rooftops. And it's almost as if you're in a trap. And it's as if you.
Why did we delay?
Yeah, it's almost as if Hengist, just as this attack happens, all your tactic lore comes into being, and you suddenly realise that you're in a bottleneck of an attack, almost like an ambush. Okay, so these are going to be flying down at you. Initially, if you wish to evade the roll, then you can do, but you will have one less action point when we go into initiative. Okay, so it's up to you. Just as always, I will tell you whether or not they're going to hit or not. And then you get the option whether or not you want to evade. You can't parry them, but remember, you will then start the first combat round on the floor, and you will be prone at the beginning. Okay.
So it will be -1 action point and prone.
Correct. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. We'll start from the front and work backwards. Hopefully somebody's got Oki ready as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. So this one is for Hengist. Okay, Hengist, this one hits. What would you like to do?
Hengist is going to try and invade.
Okay,
in that case.
Go for it.
Hengist is going to use a luck roll to reverse that.
Okay, yeah. So that gives. So you actually, we'll say for you that at that point you cut down Giselle, and you, as this thing comes, you roll ahead and then land on the floor, prone in this position. This one is coming for Oki. That hits.
Okay, can Oki use his athletics instead of evade?
Why?
I don't know. I thought maybe because it's higher, and I thought maybe he could sort of like
No,
do
he could.
a tumble. Okay.
The evade would be the skill.
Yeah, he fumbles.
He fumbles. Okay, so he misses. So he will take. Oh, hang on. I need to roll. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong.
Right arm.
Yeah, I'll go to roll it. This is coming into his 4.
Okay, so that's exactly the same as his armor.
No, that's his location. It's not his damage.
All right. Okay.
It's coming into his.
Okay. His left leg,
And it does 3 points damage.
which is absorbed by his armor.
Cool. Okay. Gully, this is yours. Which misses. And Aaron, this is yours. Which hits. What do you wish to do?
I'll evade.
Cool. Go for it.
I'll try and evade.
Roll away.
Do I just take the hit, or do I risk trying to roll a 20 or less?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean,
If I
because
try
that
and
20
roll
is
a
an
20 or
automatic.
less, yeah,
You should have faith in your rolling.
I lose a point, an action point.
You
And
lose
you're
2
prone.
action points, but
Oh, because he'd have to stand up as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be all my action points. Except last time I took a hit, I was crippled, so...
I think if you knew that a dagger was coming towards you, I don't think anybody would just go.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like, yeah, it's a roll it. I'm just going to go for it.
oh, he gets it.
There you go. Oh, we of little faith.
Yeah. I had utmost faith. I knew you would get that.
I totally believed in me.
Okay, and
I've got a question though regarding this roll. So it's a 10, and if you spent a luck point to reverse it, it would be a 1. Would that have any point or purpose in this case?
That's a good point, yeah.
with
Would that,
it
like,
being a
help me
critical,
or-
yes, it would. It would therefore become a critical.
Would that do anything though?
It wouldn't.
what-
It wouldn't do anything in this sense, apart from if it was a parry, and it would, because you would do damage back. You would then get a success. So what I would say is that you would be getting a combat, a defensive combat special that you could use sensibly. So say, for example, you wanted to use, say, press advantage or something like, well, that's not actually a defensive one. Say close range. Then
Could you use something like a rise, which
Yeah, I
allows
just
the
saw a
defender to use a momentary opening to roll to their feet?
Yeah,
So
you
it's,
you could
maybe
use
going
that, but
for-
what I would probably use is close range, which would you would evade the attack, but actually come up right next to them, ready to make your attack. So
Is that possible if they're on a roof?
no, not at the moment.
Oh.
You can use you a damaged weapon wouldn't be appropriate. Disarm appropriate. Entangle would be force failure. I've never heard that one.
Wouldn't standing up be the most
Yeah,
logical
I feel
one
like
here?
a
If like he rolled and then rolled to his feet.
There is that
A rise,
is-
it's called.
I'm just looking.
Not to push anything. I was just curious. You know.
No, that's a really good point, because I'm looking at it too. That's definitely something I would want to do if that was available.
I mean, because we generally get our luck points refreshed each game, so
I'm just trying to find
Could be
it because
beneficial.
it's not actually on my sheet.
It's have you got are you on the defensive ones?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I've got it
I have
now.
the one
I
that-
found it now. It's all right.
You sent me.
Is that a defensive one?
Defensive, arise.
I'm just finding the big table with one.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that would be if Aaron wanted to if Aaron wanted to use a luck point and change it to 0-1, then that would be a normal critical. So that would be a critical for the attack. So he would therefore get, because I had a standard to hit, didn't I? So therefore he would get the thing. So he can actually use that combat special to rise if he wished.
Yes, let's do it. So I'm going to use my luck point to do that. That's a great idea. Thank you.
Okay.
Woo!
Yeah. Nice bit
Teamwork.
of metagaming. Okay then.
Sorry.
No. Sorry, and Bartleby, yours kills you. Okay, let's move it. No, sorry. Yours actually missed because I had to continue the game and rolled it in any case. Okay then. So therefore, guys, you can now see the people on the rooftops. So I'd like to remind you that these are not level with you. These are on the rooftops. Okay, so you can't. You can try to climb up there, or you can chuck things up there. Not even Juno will be able to jump the distance, but it could be that if you grab her and chuck her, then she might be able to do it. So please remember, guys, as we go into this round, if you used if you evaded, then please remember that you got one less combat action point. Okay then. So let's go into. Hang on, just 1 second. Let's just get. Don't. I don't.
He said 1 second.
There's always one person.
Yeah, it's all right. It doesn't matter. I can just leave it on. Okay, you can do your initiative
Dice
now.
rolling.
Got a troublesome person this game. Ooh.
Holy crap. What?
Yeah, it's almost like pointless Juno getting a high dice roll because she can't actually. Her action is dependent on Aaron, so she always sort of like dithers on the first one in any case. Okay then, so I think Gulliver. Have I got mine? Did my assassins turn up? No. They are 18. So, Gulliver, you're up.
Okay. Gulliver is going to shout out, "Run!" And he's going to start heading down here to get around this corner.
Okay, yeah, move as much as you can actually move. Okay, so as you run down there, you get some more knives chucked at you. So this will be now hard at you because you're actually running. So I'm looking for hard. That one misses and clatters on the floor. That one misses and clatters on the floor. And that one's
Drain them of their weapons.
and that one's a fumble. So, guys, just to let you know, I know it's on GM roll, but if you want to go back, you can watch them. I'm not changing any of the rolls. That I'm just doing it straight off, so you can't see exactly who they are, because obviously, if it says double-headed snake people, then Hengist tends to go mad. So and there's things like that. Okay, so Gulliver, you dash down there as the three assassins, the one next to Oki, the two in front of you, Hengist, sort of like lob daggers at him, and he sort of like gets down to the far end. Okay, so that leaves the 2 down at the bottom's end. So Bartleby, this one is coming at you. That hits. What do you wish to do?
I presume, since my dexterity is so low, my character has a poor time reacting anyways. And now with my belief in Amriel, I don't evade.
I mean, you can, just so you know, you can do reactive actions whenever you wish. There's no set rule when you can actually do it. So, but it's totally up to you if you wish to evade or not. Okay, so this, I just want to see whether or not what the hit location says. Yeah, so this this comes and hits you in your abdomen, or whatever.
I'm fine.
And you take 1 hit point of damage. If you've got armor there, then it takes... Oh. Do you have armor there?
Yeah, I have 2 points armor.
So that sort of like hits your armor. You don't lose, you never lose any armor points, but you just feel a dagger sort of like go into your side, but it sort of like get caught on the armor and falls to the floor. And then this one is, so that's, just so you know, that was this one, Bartleby, if you can see.
Gotcha.
And then this one here, Aaron, is firing at you.
Mm-hmm.
And that one misses.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all there. Chucking done and dusted. So Aaron, it's up to you. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna switch to my javelin.
Okay, so ready that weapon, and we are now on to Bartleby.
I'm going to take Gulliver's plan of action, and I'm going to skedaddle as far as I can, which, if I'm using my run at 16, these tiles are just...
There should be a meter.
Yeah, so I could move 16 squares.
Yeah. So you can actually run through... you can run through a friendly person, but you can't run through an enemy person. So you can then actually run through Gulliver if you wish.
I wish.
Yeah, I mean the only reason that Gulliver stopped there was to look back to make sure that everybody, that other people were following.
Okay, so that's Bartleby. Hengist, what would you like to do?
Angus is going to use this turn to stand up.
Cool. Yeah.
Can I interject something real quick? Turns are going a little fast. I didn't get to command my dog. Is there any chance I can do that?
Yeah, you need to say that in your turn.
Well, yeah, okay.
Did we pass your turn?
No, you did my turn. It's just it went a little fast, so I didn't catch it in time. But that's fine.
It's all right, Raph. We'll go slow for you.
I'm slow, okay?
What would you like to do?
I was over here acting out my character, and I forgot that. I just want to have him follow Bartleby. That was it. Just stick with Bartleby. Protect Bartleby.
I think we skipped you. Did we?
No,
No,
he readied his
changed
weapon.
my weapon, and then I was over here acting out my character, and it went on, and that's my fault.
Hengist, are you getting up?
Hengist has stood up.
Yeah, excellent. And Oki.
Oki will. He's going to head to the corner as well.
Okay. Yeah, is he moving past Bartleby? He can't stand on your square. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, so he wants to get past Gulliver. He wants to get past Bartleby, and he wants to get up into the front.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. You can move him to wherever he wants to be. Excellent. So that is the end of combat turn 1. Yeah. So this is on to combat turn 2. Guys, please remember that if you took an evade in the previous to avoid actions, to avoid daggers, then you lost one of your action points there. Okay then. So Juno is following Bartleby as commanded. Gulliver, what would you like to do?
Seeing that Bartleby and Oki have followed, he's going to continue going. But can he wait until everybody else has moved and bring up the rear, or do I need to? Is there like a delay, or do I need to move?
Yeah.
First?
So we talked about this, haven't we? Let me just read you.
Most asked question in our group.
Yeah.
About delays.
A character conserves his action that he can instead perform a reactive action at a later time, such as interrupt or parry. The action point cost of delaying is covered as somewhat as finally performed. If the delayed action is not taken before the character's next turn, then the character is considered to have dithered or the action point is lost. So you can say, because you're now, you can say, I'm going to delay my action point. And then, can you see where the assassins fight? On 18, you can say, I'm going to use that to parry.
Right.
Rather than dithering and losing it. Okay, if we got right the way round to you again and you haven't used it for a reactive action, which is either counterspell, evade, interrupt, or parry, then it would just be dithered.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Okay. So Gulliver is going to cast a spell.
Okay. Yeah. Is it folk magic or sorcery?
It's folk magic. It's
Maggie? Did you say so?
Oh, what?
I thought you said folk Maggie.
Folk magic.
All right.
What's this person got in his hand?
Daggers.
Pinging. He's got 2 daggers.
Yeah, you notice that they've actually got 3 daggers ready to fire, and they're literally going like that. You do notice they've got a saber on his belt as well.
Okay, so on this one, with the plates underneath his one arm, he's going to point to it with his fingers crossed, and he's going to shout up and go, "Erit!" and try to cast a spell.
Yeah, cool.
Folk magic, which is a success.
Cool.
Nice.
And you got an endurance, a stun.
Do I resist? Yeah. I can resist.
Endurance.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. He failed it.
Okay, so your everything's hard.
Fatigue. Winded. Oh, is it 1? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, got ya. That's assassin 1. Okay then. Yeah, cool. I just need to put on my things now. Hengist, can you make a perception check for me, please?
Do you want me to blind roll that to you?
No. Okay. Can you see? No. Okay then. You can't. Aaron, can you make a perception check?
Yes, I can. Give me a half second. Switch over to Aaron as the roller, and perception rolling. Failed.
do you wish to use a point of luck, Aaron?
I am out of luck now.
Okay then. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is my turn, isn't it? So these up at the top here, they can't fire at you down in that corridor at all. Okay, but these up on here can fire down. They can fire down at this side. So Hengist, this is you first. It's not that one. Oh yes, it is that one. So I just had to make sure which one it was, because one's tired now. Yeah, that one will hit you. What do you wish to do?
So which angle is it coming from?
It's coming from this one. Did you see that?
I did, yeah. I'm just trying to think. He's got it. Have I got my back to it or not?
you can either evade or take it.
I'm just trying to decide if he's going to know about it or not. If he's not going to know about it, he's probably just going to ignore it because
Well,
he doesn't know it's there.
I think you've had daggers being thrown down for you for quite a while, so you are aware. So everybody's aware that daggers are being chucked down. So you can either, but you can't. You can try to shield it, because one of the advantages of a shield is that you can block.
I haven't got my shield out.
All
That's
right.
the thing.
So it's either evade or take it.
He's probably just going to ignore it and just take it.
Okay, cool. So this hits you in your abdomen. That's coming up a lot more now. I like that.
Okay.
And take 1 point of damage, which will be blocked
it
by
doesn't
your
go-
armor. Yeah, and
So like it hits, and then you hear a clang, and sort of like when Hengus looks down at the knife, he sees the knife and the tips sort of like been bent.
okay,
in his armor.
and then so that's the only one that gets fired at you. Aaron, there's 2 coming at you.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh no, hang on. I will take that roll, even though I'm on the wrong assassin, but I don't mind that. The first one misses. And let me just get this one. This is Assassin 46.
Hmm?
Did I say that out loud? Sorry.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. This one hits.
Oh no.
That came through to you guys, didn't it?
It
Yeah,
did,
we can see those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that one.
I've changed it just to show that it does hit. Do you wish to evade? So if you evade and you get a really low 1, then you can take a critical and you can arise. Bartleby shouts as he runs out of danger, "Don't forget to arise!" How many? You must have an action point left as well, by the way.
Yeah, is this a new round or is this?
No,
yeah,
it's
this is a new round.
no, it's the same round. It's just turn.
It's the same round.
Yeah, we're on to turn 2.
Oh, turn 2. That's right. Yeah, then I'm out. I
Okay, so you can't. So this is coming in to hit you then. This is from Assassin 2. This is coming into your right leg.
That's not his skippy leg, is it?
It is a skippy leg.
It is.
I ungimped it.
It's been fine for a while. 2 points of damage.
Okay, I survive.
Excellent. Okay, so that's sort of like. So Aaron, you're up.
Okay.
You don't have any action points left.
I stand still.
Yeah. Hengis.
Mm-hmm. Angus is getting his shield off his back now,
Okay.
and he's holding it above his head.
Ready a weapon. Excellent. Oki.
Did Bartleby go, or has he not got anything?
Oh yeah, sorry. Bartleby, did you want to run as well? Sorry, my fault.
It's okay. Yes, I do.
Run away then. Sorry, run as far as you want.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna get to here, and then I want to kind of stop and make sure people are following me. It's a light jog that I'm doing, I guess.
Do you know follow you?
That's kind of scarier. That's what's keeping me going.
Yeah, sort of like nipping at your heels. Oki.
Oki will again follow, protecting the valuable cargo that we have in the.
Oh yes, of course,
in Bartleby's.
Oh, I see
backpack.
what you're doing now. You're protecting Bartleby because he's got the seeds.
Well, yeah. What did you think I was doing? Running?
Yeah, I just thought you were running for self-preservation.
We're a team here.
No, I got. You know.
Oh, I see what you're doing now. Well, you're quite valiant, aren't you? Does anybody else have any action points left?
No.
Gulliver does.
Yeah.
Still with these plates underneath his arm, he's going to reach into his tunic, and he's going to pull out his throwing stone.
No.
I know it's only good against giant scorpions, but when you
Excellent.
get to a stage that if you cast one more spell, you fall unconscious, it's time for the throwing stones.
Excellent. So this is so this is now round 2. Then everybody's out, and combat turn 1. Juno sort of like will keep tabs on you, Bartleby. So I'm going to take her out of the initiative order because she'll always just keep next to you. So Gulliver, you're up.
Okay, I'm taking careful aim. Gulliver is going to throw his throwing stone at this one
Okay.
here. I will ask how far it is away. It's within 20 meters, isn't it?
Oh yes, easily.
Okay. Here we go. Oh no, he's lucky throwing stone. It's because it's not a giant scorpion.
You sort of like lob this stone, and it actually doesn't even reach the roof. It just sort of like clatters down onto the ground, sort of like here. It just sort of like falls down. Right. Next, assassins. So this is attack at you. Thingamabob.
Names are hard.
Hengis. I was trying to remember what he said last thing. Are you? You're just shielding. Did you passive block? Did you ward location?
I haven't done anything with that yet.
Okay.
I said I'm holding my shield above my head.
Okay.
Is what
so
I said.
yeah, so you can block because it's just hit you.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what if it's within those areas, then he will block it. So he's covering his head and his like head and shoulders, or
Yeah,
so his left arm, his
toes.
head, and his right arm probably as well. So if it's on, I don't know what's going on.
Well, at the moment you're just parrying. If you want to ward location, then I think your shield has set amount of areas, and then you you locate those. You tell me what they are, and then you ward them, which means that I would throw my dagger. You don't need to make a parry roll, but if I hit any of those locations, I automatically hit your shield. But if I throw my dagger and it hits any of the areas that are not covered by the ward location, then you don't get a parry roll. It automatically hits you.
Okay.
So for this one, roll your parry of your shield, and then when it gets to your turn on 15, if you wish to ward locate, then you can do it then.
Okay, that's fine. So I will roll for my parry.
Yeah, and it just sort of like clatters off your shield.
Good shield.
Bartleby, you hear Juno barking. Behind you. She seems to be really interested in something actually going on round the corner from you. You don't know what it is, but you can hear her sort of like barking away. This is coming at you, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that first one missed, and I'm on that again. And this is the second one. You're obviously getting a little bit more agile now, and that one misses as well. And yeah, okay then. And Evan, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna use this opportunity to run. Seeing as how everybody else has run, I think it's time to go. So there's 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Okay, go for it.
Well, there.
You don't actually get that far.
Oh,
You
just
get here when you suddenly noticed down in this gap, there's 2 assassins running towards Juno and the Bartleby and Oki.
Perfect. Okay.
Bartleby, you are up.
Curiosity killed the Bartleby. I'm gonna keep running.
Yeah, so you can actually get out into the main part of the city. Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe all my companions are running behind me.
Yeah.
I'm going in the direction of the church.
Yeah. Cool. And Hengist, you're up. So
Cool.
so Hengist, now it's up to you what you wish to do now.
So if I did that, if I was to nominate passive block, would that be
Yeah.
an action, and
So-
would I have to do that every time?
So yeah, so the action you are doing is ward location. That's what you're actually doing. Ward location is a free action. Okay, so you would then just do your normal action, but use a free one to ward location. So you could actually say, I wish to run, but ward locate the however many locations you can shield with your
Okay, cool.
with your shield, and that is passive blocking. That's what it's called.
Right, no problem. So Hengist, he's not going to run, but he's going to walk back. Yeah, so he's going to walk backwards, obviously, with his shield up, but with his head looking back so that he can see where he's going, so he's not going to trip over anything. And he's going to walk back to the entrance, and he's going to use a free action to passive block, and he's protecting his upper body, so he's protecting his head, his left arm, because they've got to be linked, haven't they? And probably his chest.
So how many locations can you passive block? With
I
your
can
shield?
passive block 3.
3. So you're doing your head.
Head, left arm, and chest.
Okay then. So just make a note of those.
And they are ticked on my
Fantastic.
on my sheet.
So that is Oki. Juno would have carried on with Bartleby. Do you want Oki to follow on with Bartleby?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, Oki is. Did he hear anything from behind?
No.
Okay, in which case he's continuing with Bartleby. And
Okay, cool. Guys, I've just put you on a rooftop there because it means that you're out of the map. Yeah, Bartleby, can you see that? Yeah. Okay, then, and so that's the end of combat turn 1. So we're up to 2s. Gulliver, you're up.
seeing Hengist coming now towards the escape route, Gulliver's going to head off with his plates underneath. I don't know what's going to happen here. He's sort of like going to go through, but
no, you because Aaron could probably see these people ahead. So
right. And Gulliver sort of like realizes that something's wrong, so pulls up short.
Aaron would be, with his javelin, and so he'd probably be sitting there like readying an attack to launch this thing. So you would see.
So you would see him about to do something at that point.
Okay, so movement then.
Yeah. Okay then. So Assassin's on 18. This one closes combat with you, and this one heads off around. And Aaron, you're up.
Okay. As he runs towards me, I want to lob my javelin straight into him as hard as I can.
Yeah, cool.
Am I rolling as him? Yes. I'll take that.
Yeah, so you chuck your javelin at him as he gets a lot closer. Hence the critical nature of the roll. Let me just put this up so I can see. He will, of course, as he comes towards you, try to evade it by rolling backwards, but fails. So he is now prone on the floor. Oops. Prone on the floor like so, and you'll get two crits on him.
All right, I want to do max damage, and if he's prone on the floor, We'll do max damage, and can I do choose location?
Yep.
We'll do straight through his head.
Okay, so you lob this javelin, and just to let you know, you can only choose location with a ranged weapon if it's a critical. It's not the same as melee weapon, but it is a critical that you got, so you can choose location with it. So this is going into his head, yeah?
Yes, for max damage, which is 9.
9 points of damage. Yeah, you sort of like spear your javelin quite nicely into his head, and he rolls that, fails that, and you kill him outright. He's dead. And Bartleby, you're out into the crowd now. Do you have a streetwise skill or anything?
I do. That was a little bit more excitement than I should have had. I will roll it though.
Could you blind roll it to me, please?
Absolutely.
Because what I'm using it to see whether or not you escape the. I'm using as an opposed test to the. What is your roll?
51 is my goal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got a 91.
52.
Yeah.
We can see your rolls, Ian, on that one. In rolls.
On which one?
The one that you just rolled a new. Was it invade for?
Yeah, I haven't rolled it yet.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I just saw it come up.
Dance along the street.
What was your roll, Si? What's your skill, Si?
Oh, 51.
51, and you got 89. Okay, so okay, yeah. So you're heading off with Juno on your heels and Oki by your side, and you sort of like take a quick look over your shoulder, and you can see this assassin is hot on your heels. Hengist.
Oh wow, my turn. Hengist is going to yeah, so he's going to carry on retreating, so he's going to run. But he's going to stop just short of Gully, and then he's going to turn around and sort of like present his sword and shield out just in case any of the assassins are following.
Yeah, cool. Oki will protect you. So this is now combat round and turn 3. Does anybody have any actions left?
Hengist does.
Yeah, and so does Gully.
Okay, is there anything that you two would like to do?
Is Gully able to now continue round, or am I waiting on?
I think you're waiting
Aaron.
for Aaron.
I'll wait on Aaron
because
then, in which case,
yeah, you really don't know whether or not the coast is clear. You know he's taken down one assassin, but you really don't know what else is round there. So you could have walked
in which
into
case
the
I'll
dragon.
hold my action in case I need to parry.
You'll delay it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. And who else? Hengist.
Hengist is going to hold his action in case he needs to make a parry as well.
Okay, cool. Okay, so this is now combat round 3. And we're back down to turn 1. Okay, is the general idea that you guys are going to try to move out of here now?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's Gully's plan.
Yeah, I'll collect up my javelin and call them forward, and we'll move off.
Okay, then. So you start to move out. Aaron, Gulliver, or Hengist, do any of you have a streetwise skill?
Yes, indeed.
In-
Gulliver does.
Who just rolled their endurance roll?
I did, because I
Ellen.
thought we were going into turn 3.
No. Who has one side? Gully.
Yeah.
Okay. That just remind me. Thank you. Gully, you don't need to. Aaron, you're now fatigued. Bartleby, can you roll your endurance?
Oh, yes.
No.
So close.
Yeah. Okay then. So adjust your things suitably. Gulliver, did you say you have a?
I do indeed have a streetwise.
Could you blind roll it to me, please?
My skill is 40.
40. Thank you.
B-roll gone.
Can you actually type !B-roll 1d100 skill 40?
What? Just do skill 40?
Yeah, just type the words skill 40. Yeah. So if you guys just do that, you can actually just put your skill in, and I get the roll and your skill at the same time. I get them both, which is brilliant. I'll make a token for it soon. That'll actually...
Looking behind him, as he's trying to lead Hengist and Evan away, if he does see these knife wielding things following him, and it doesn't look like his streetwise skill has gone too well, he wants to try better to lose them by re-rolling it.
As in to use a point of luck.
Yes.
Luck. Sorry.
Yes. Or to swap it round. I don't know what the roll was. But he knows it's important that he tries to lose these things in the crowd so that they can't follow him.
Okay, then. You swapping it round wouldn't help. You would have to re-roll it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay then. Bartleby, would you like to roll your streetwise skill, please?
Oh, and I should do this secretly.
Yes, please, yeah.
Whilst all of this is happening, you're just hearing Hengist grumbling under his breath, going, "Really done with bricks right now, with its bow and arrow. Would have been perfect for this situation."
Okay, so you all head off into the main town, into the merchant area of Odis. Aaron and Hengist, you sort of like Gulliver sort of like shouts, follow me, like this, and he sort of like starts taking you left, right, and centre. And within moments, you can't see any assassins actually following you. Bartleby, you seem to have one of these assassins following you right the way up to the entrance to your church. And you sort of like, do you have any luck left, Bartleby?
Yes.
Did he say yes?
Meow. Has he handed the mic over to his cat?
I said yeah. It might have cut me out there though.
Yeah.
Did you say yes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do have luck.
Okay, do you wish to spend a point of luck on your last streetwise roll?
I would love to.
Okay, so cross it off. So as you get closer and closer to your church, with Oki in pursuit, you suddenly turn around to notice that Mr. Pickles is just continue rolling now.
No, it was like it was going to, but it didn't come up. That's me again.
No, I got it. Yeah. And just as you get closer and closer to your church, you suddenly turn around, and it's either that the assassin has given up, or he is no longer following you.
Or he's worked out where you were going. Oh, look, there's a church there.
Well, the church is gonna protect me.
This is a weird church.
Mm.
I want to go to this church.
Church. Oh, yeah, it looks different here.
I like this church.
Okay, I assume after some time, you sort of like meet back. Sorry, Bartleby, is there anything you want to do with the eggs at your church?
I'm seeking refuge, and I'm seeking the higher members of the order to analyze this, and I guess if I had enough time, I was hoping to tell them the tale and pass on the information that Amriel gave to me. about all these dangers and all these horrible things happening.
That was bloody loud.
Mr. Pickles has his audio thing in on. He must have it on in Zoom that changes the audio.
Oh, right, I got you.
Oh,
It
do
must have
I?
been loud
Was
because it
loud,
made
but
Inwell
it's
swear.
quiet.
I've never heard Inwell swear.
Yeah, there's like an audio setting that it differentiates your volume.
Adjust your volume. Yeah.
Yeah, we can turn it off later.
Right. Okay then. So your priests and overseers are really interested in these eggs, and they sort of like take them and sort of like say, you were right to bring us these, young Bartleby. We will keep a careful eye on these. And they sort of like turn around and mutter off into the recesses of the church. And just make a perception roll for me, please.
Perception.
Yeah, and as you go off, you sort of like hear one of them turn around to the other one and says, "These will bring a fair price on the local market." And they sort of like go off into sort of like a back room and sort of like another one sort of like genuflects to you and sort of like and you sort of like leave. Is there anything else you would like to? They listen intently to your story, and at the point of a dragon being mentioned, several of the old priests go, "I don't think that is going to happen, Master Young Bartleby. Dragons have not been around in Odes for millennium. I doubt that one is going to return." And they don't know any reference to the Cassini that you that the name that you mention. And they are you going to show them the bracelet?
No, that's one thing that I don't bring up because I feel compelled not to bring that up.
Okay. So after that, you sort of like everybody heads back from their locations back to the hairy hobgoblin to meet up and sort of like discuss. And you notice roughly the same people are in as well as Martin there. Sat by himself on a table, on a chair at a table, eating alone, looking rather forlorn. And it is you sort of like settle down to discuss what has been happening and what might be your next way forward. If anybody has anything to say at this point.
Gulliver wants to go lean over towards Hengist, and he wants to say, "Hengist, we still don't really know what happened to the caravan that was coming from Eubin Falls, and why it actually turned off the main path.
No, we don't, Gully.
Maybe Martin can help us, even if he doesn't know himself. Maybe he can put us in touch with some of the merchants who we found further up, and we could ask them and check their stories against each other to find out exactly why."
That sounds like a good idea, Gully.
He's more your type of friend.
Okay, so that's one thing that you wish to investigate. Anybody else?
Is this what we're doing here, or this is what we're doing as a whole?
No, well, I just want everybody the opportunity to talk rather than, no offense to you, Gully, just sort of like you say something and then do that. Whether or not anybody else would like to bring anything up at this point, anything that they're concerned about, or any leads that they would like to take.
I want to discuss with Bartleby, not saying it outright, but just ask him. I'll be like, "Are they safe?"
Am I at this end now?
Yes,
Having
yes,
done all my...
yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I was doing my stuff while they're doing this.
No, you have done that bit. They've washed and bathed and eaten several blocks of cheese. And when you arrive from your exploits at the church,
Oh, Aaron, they're completely safe. The world is now at ease again. We can relax and enjoy our successful adventure.
Aaron kind of cocks his head and looks at him and goes, "You can feel the balance in the world."
Well, I'll check it later. I'm sure it's probably fine right now. But I've given the eggs to the highest members of my church, and Amriel doesn't choose unwise leaders for the church. I'm sure that they will handle it way better than I ever could. They're like infinitely more powerful than me, Aaron. So I'm sure everything's fine. They got this.
There is one more thing that we need to discuss. As you probably all appreciate, I'm extremely out of pocket for this last venture that we've done. I had to give up a very valuable ring, but I'm sure as friends, you'd be willing to contribute something towards my out of pocketness.
Would you like a candle?
I think you gave a candle to Giselle, and she ended up dead. So no, thank you.
Didn't you also give your ring to Giselle?
Yes, but she's probably already spent it. It's okay. I mean, if you want to just be
Angus
prepared
doesn't
that
say anything, but
other people can be out of pocket for things, then I'm fine.
Angus doesn't reply, but he makes sure that he pays Gully's tavern bill for the food for that night.
I think yeah, go on. I think it's still free at the moment.
I thought it was board that was free, but we had to pay for food.
Okay then, yeah, no, that's fine.
I thought that's what it was.
So,
I might be wrong.
No, that's absolutely fine. So you probably got quite a bill set up because obviously
Don't forget Hengist is paying for Gullies.
Yeah, because I'll work that out because obviously we've been having situations now. We've exchanged coins, but of course there's been all the other times that you've been here. So I will work that out, and I will give you a bill for that. I won't work it out now, but I will do before we start next week. Anything else that you would like to discuss or say?
No, Gully just looks a bit downhearted that after asking for help, he got offered a candle and a piece of cheese.
Well, that's Gully. That's because a candle's much easier to get out of my backpack. All this time you've been having the down face on. I pulled out my little bag of silver coins, and I want to give him 20 silver coins.
Oh, bless.
Thank you, Bartleby. Your
fingers aren't quick.
You're very kind. It goes nowhere to put what I've actually spent on this, but 20 coins is much appreciated.
Okay, so as you sit there and the evening sort of like starts to draw to a close, you sort of like start to think about what has actually gone on. The cryptic poems written on the doorway to the final room, and the poem that was also round the pedestal of the inner the pedestal in the middle of the final room. And also the cryptic signs and where this is leading to, and what could possibly be going on with these the goblets and the eggs. And it's while you're sort of like discussing this and coming to no definite conclusion that Oki, who you had almost like forgotten was there because he's been in deep meditation, suddenly comes round and joins in the conversation. And he says to you in his normal tranquil voice, he says, "It would seem that we need knowledge, for knowledge would probably lead to understanding in this case."
I can check the library in my order to see whether or not I can find any references to these runes that I made a etching of.
I think libraries would be a very good idea, and maybe, probably, the most knowledgeable library in the whole of Odess. And he reaches inside his tunic and he brings out a key. It's quite ornate, but quite heavy and metal, and he puts it down in the middle of the table and he says, "You will probably know about the Order of the Tranquil Wind and the journey of us mysticists. This is why I was in, the second reason I was in Lindo, for this is the key to our once very expansive and important library of the mystics. It is said to lie not far from here, and it would appear that now would be a good opportunity to venture to it and ascertain more knowledge about these seeds and maybe the goblets and the Templars."
Whereabouts can we find this library?
And there lies the problem, for I know it is nearby, and this key will allow us entry to it, but the exact location I do not know. However, the reason I came to Lindo is that it is rumoured that within the walls of Lindo there is a master cartographer that has maps of the area.
Oh dear.
And
Henger's eyes is just going to roll in the back of his head.
and we will leave it there for this week.
I kind of think we should just invite this chap on the adventure with us. He's going to end up doing it, isn't he?
Say again, Si.
I said, I kind of feel like we should just invite this cartographer along with us because he used to be an explorer and he had a suit of armor behind him and a sword on his desk. And
I think
he's kind of intrigued.
I think the words "used to" is the case. So you probably have a good idea where you are going next week. Just to let you know, this will also be an opportunity to spend some experience rolls. So we've had 2 parts of an adventure. I think that's been correct, hasn't it?
Yes. Since last time we've had 2 adventures. Yeah.
2 sessions. This being our 3rd one. So we had the first one when you got to the temple, the second one inside the temple, and this other one coming back. So I am giving you 2 experience rolls for the 3 adventures because they haven't really been high risk at all. And so you got 2 experience rolls for it. So remember, anybody who fumbled for anything will automatically get +1 to that skill. Do also remember that if you would like to roll your experience points, your experience rolls before next Saturday, then please grab me and be in when you want me in Roll20, and we can go through it then. Or if you're very happy to do it next Saturday before we start, or during the beginning of the adventure, then that's absolutely fine as well. Hengist, Hengist, you will have one because of your thing, and Aaron, you will have one as well, because you were not here for one of the adventures. So, but Gulliver and Bartleby, you will have 2. Just to let you know, Oki, okay, I thought you would get further in tonight's adventure with everybody, but just to let you know, Oki will be leaving you. Okay, so after next week, it will be back to 4 of you rather than Oki as well. So there will be back to a reduction. And, you know, he might suddenly appear again if there's somebody missing in the future. So he will bid farewell at the beginning of the next adventure. So don't bank on him actually being around. Okay, so so use your experience points wisely. Please, please, please do not save them up. Just use them because they're really important to get your skills up and progress and make you more powerful in combat. Armor will need to be repaired in some instances, but I'm going to wait until we're a lot more familiar with the game until we start looking at that, so don't worry about that. Apart from that, everything should be ready for next week. So we can end today by going around and seeing who you are and where people can find you. And we'll start off with Chuckawugga.
I'm Chuckawugga. You can find me here on Saturdays where I play Gully in the Mithras campaign of in Odys. You can also find me on Tuesdays in Inwill's channel where we play Shadowrun, and I play Stanley Lovely, aka Studley, who is a combat mage. Apart from that, I'm normally in Inwill's channel where I act as moderator.
Thank you very much for that. And next, in the darkened room, Mr. Pickles.
Mr. Pickles, you probably can't see me, but I'm here. I am aligned with Wrath Inspired's channel. I'm a DM that does stuff. Don't shake your head at me, Wrath. I see you shake.
I forgot you could see me.
I do a campaign on Mondays that goes into space, and otherwise you can find me here being our theist and always doing the right thing for my church, even if it just benefits them. I'm going to pass on to Longshanks.
Hi guys, I'm Longshanks CPG. Tonight you have been watching me play Hengist. You can next find me in Inwill's channel on a Tuesday night playing Shadowrun, where I play Hector. Last week was a great adventure. Hector got drunk, ran at a bus, tried to climb up it and didn't notice it was moving. Billy Bob also, just watch it. I'm not going to explain it. Spoilers. You can usually find me chilling in Inwill's streams and or Discord.
And Wrath, go for it.
What's up, everybody? I'm Wrath. I am a streamer. I have my own channel, and you can find me over there most of the time, doing stuff and things. So that's. Oh, and I'm playing. I was about to say Solomon. I am playing Aaron Suki. He is our nomadic traveler with a intricate backstory that has not yet come to light. So tune in next week to see if and with that we'll pass it back to Inwills. Yay!
Excellent. They're probably far too shy to say this, but if you're looking for more role-playing content, then please do go along to Wrath Inspired channel on Monday. Is it?
Yes.
Some weird
4:30
4:30
Pacific Standard.
Pacific Standard. That's very late at night for us in GMT time, where they will be playing Traveller. They made up their characters last week, and there's not a social one among them. All I can say is that it's going to be shoot first, ask questions later. That's all I can say. So if you're interested in a bit of Shadowrun, Traveller, then head over there on Monday. I will be back. I am a streamer as well, and I will be back here at 3 o'clock GMT time tomorrow to play some Elder Scrolls Online, and then like my party was saying, back on Tuesday to DM some Shadowrun, and then here next week. Please, if you've enjoyed the escapades of the group, then please don't forget to follow that follow button and come back next week and see what they are going to be doing with this huge key, and whether or not they know a cartographer who can help them with their exploits. If you're wondering why they were laughing, look back to Adventures and see what happened. Until then, I would just like to say to each and every one of you, say who you are and say what you think and be who you are, because the people who mind don't matter and the people who matter don't mind. Until then, I'd like to say to each and every one of you, have fun, and I'll catch you all later. And until then, I'd just like to say to each and every one of you, consider yourself well and truly waffled. Have fun, guys. Bye.
Goodbye.